Hello boys, hello girls, boys and girls, it's your boy. Well, why should I tell you it is? You should already know. You already know, right? It's brasstax, baby. The guy who's been reviewing 4Ks for a very long time. We're talking many years. We're talking maybe, I want to say 3-4 years. It's been a while, and I'm not even slowing down, I ain't gonna lie to you. Now, I know I've been saying this all year because I've been hearing it all year. You guys want me to get back in front of the camera and do my thing. Because it doesn't feel like the full brasstax experience unless I do that, and I'm gonna do that. Next year, hopefully, is looking a lot easier work-wise. It's just easier and quick to do it this way. But that's what she said, baby. But next year, 2021, first quarter for sure, I'm gonna definitely be back in full form because I miss you guys. I need to get back in front of the camera. I'm too egotistical not to be. So I will be back to full force. I don't think I've ever said this before. Based on how 2020 has gone, I think I need to watch a trailer of 2021 because I need to know what's going to happen next year. Because if it's anything like this year, I'm moving to the moon. 2020 has been the worst year ever. I know friends around me who have been breaking up with their partners and stuff because they've been seeing each other 24/7. It's crazy, people. It's crazy. Not only that, we got the other thing. The other thing that's wiping people out. Now we got a new strain over here in the UK. We can't leave anywhere. People can't come here. It's getting ridiculous. We initially had 3 tiers over here. Tier 1, Tier 2, Tier 3. Guess what? Prime Minister's like, yes, okay, we need you guys to stay here, but we're going to have now a Tier 4, which didn't exist 3 days ago, but exists now. So, it's Christmas is cancelled, right? Anyone from the UK will tell you that this is the worst year ever. And I'll tell you something else. If we don't have this issue next year, we're going to have a totally different issue, and that's obesity. It's going to be at an all-time high because all we've been doing this year is sitting at home, eating and watching 4K Blu-rays. I guess every cloud has its silver lining. So here we are. It's come to that time of the year where I give you my top 10 best looking 4K Blu-rays. Now, this isn't really about whether the movies are good. This is about how good the movies look. All reviews are subjective anyway. I could hate a movie that you love and vice versa. And I gotta tell you, this year, and I know I say this every year, but this year has been very, very difficult to compile a list of just top 10 4K Blu-rays because there have been so many outstanding looking transfers. And if you have subscribed to me over the many years I've been here, you will know that I base it solely on visual fidelity, visual quality. Although I've got an Atmos setup, I'm not focusing on the Atmos. I'm not focusing on the DTSX. I am focusing purely on the visuals. Now, Shane from Spirit Change is doing his top 10 where he's focusing on both. I'm just focusing on the one. Now, if you want me to do a review based on audio quality, I can do that too. You just let me know in the comments section. So here's the format. Firstly, I'm going to mention a movie which I am deliberately leaving out of this list because it's very divisive, and I'll explain why when I get to it. Then I'm going to do 5 honorable mentions. Then conclude with the top 10. Now, I will say 10 to 2 can fit anywhere on this list. It's not really in any specific order, but I think number 1 is pretty self-explanatory. And I'm pretty sure that some of the honorable mentions will even be in your top 10 lists. But you got to remember that this is my top 10 list. Now, before we begin, all movies are reviewed on a CX77-inch LG OLED. And unlike other reviewers, when I say top 10 4K Blu-ray discs of 2020, that's exactly what you're gonna get. 4K Blu-ray discs, not 1080p box sets and all that other garbage. We're sticking to 4K Blu-rays. Now, there is a movie I am leaving out of this list, okay? And that movie is Gemini Man. Because it's very divisive. There are a bunch of people who don't like high frame rate, and there are a bunch of people who do. I personally feel that it should be in your collection, because to me personally, it looks absolutely fantastic. One of the best looking 4K discs ever. But for the purpose of this top 10, I'm gonna leave it out. But you better have it. I ain't gonna lie to you. Even if the movie is meh. But anyway, that's that out of the way. Let's get to honorable mentions. And look at these 5 right here. Starting with The New Mutants. Now, I didn't get a chance to review this because I was on my hiatus, so I was taking a little break, a little 2-month break. People thought I left again. Guess what? They were wrong. As a movie, I think New Mutants is a little formulaic, a little predictable. But it does have good elements in there. Not really something I would watch again, but the 4K Blu-ray-age, the 4K-age of this disc looks very, very tasty indeed. Very sharp, very detailed. The HDR just pops throughout. Great transfer right here. Even though I didn't like the movie that much, the transfer is very, very tasty indeed. Now, Dr. Dolittle, Jumanji, Jojo Rabbit, and Call of the Wild, many of which I've already reviewed, look absolutely stunning on 4K. They really do. Great pop, razor sharp images. Jojo Rabbit is a great movie. If you haven't seen it, I highly recommend you watch that. Call of the Wild is okay. Jumanji I enjoyed. And Dr. Dolittle was trash, but boy, does it look superb. I'm not gonna lie to you, whether you like these movies or not, these are all showcases for 4K. You put any one of these on, panties are gonna drop, 100%. But now let's get on to the tasty stuff. Let's get on to the top 10, and there are some surprises in this list. Number 10. Unhinged. Russell Crowe at his psychotic best, and I know what you're thinking. Brasstax, we don't have it here in the US. Guess what? I don't have it here in the UK. You're gonna have to go to Germany. See, that rhymed. Bars. You're gonna have to go to Germany or Italy, Amazon Italy or Amazon Germany. Get it imported. It's not a crappy transfer. It looks great. Very cold color tones, but it's razor sharp and the Atmos is damn good. If you've got it on digital, it's better than the digital version. Looks very nice. Dolby Vision got all the good stuff on that 4K Blu-ray and really does showcase the 4K-age on your TV. And it's a good movie. It's simple, but it's effective. And yeah, it looks very, very nice. Pick it up, number 9. Terminator Dark Fate, people. I know what you're gonna say. This movie is trash, but we are basing it solely on the visuals. And you already know that this movie looks great. The first 10 minutes is the worst and best looking thing on this disc. Best because the visuals are outstanding. They de-aged everyone. Arnie looks like Arnie of old. Linda Hamilton looks like psychotic, but you would. Do you know what I mean? But the thing that happened at the beginning is just, they screwed up. And the movie itself had the potential to be great. But that's not taken away from the transfer. The transfer looks A1. From start to finish, razor sharp. I mean razor sharp. The colors pop. The nighttime scenes are detailed. It blows the 1080p right out of the water. It's just a shame that the movie can't keep up with how good the transfer is. What can you do? Number 8, Charlie's Angels. I'm not gonna lie, I didn't like this movie either. I mean, I don't remember a time sitting down thinking to myself, even for a split second, that, you know what, we need another Charlie's Angels movie. I never asked for it. We got it anyway. You know, and it was a very average movie. And this is gonna sound chauvinistic and I don't care. The only reason I watched the whole movie was those 3. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I was not watching it for their talent. I was not watching it for their intellect. I was not watching it for their personality. I was watching this movie purely for aesthetics. And in that respect, I wasn't disappointed because this movie looks damn near reference. It's razor sharp, the depth is phenomenal, the HDR pops in every other scene. It really is a showcase, and if you're a fan of any of these 3, like I clearly am, for very different reasons, mind you, once again, I say what you're too scared to say. You may just pick this up if it's discounted. But, you know, you can switch this on, and anyone who comes into the living room is going to enjoy the 4K-age of this, because it's outstanding. Number 7, Vin Diesel, Bloodshot. I actually enjoyed this. I wasn't expecting to. I thought this was going to be trash. And I guess some people do think it's trash, but I really like this movie. Start to finish, decent, good. Leave your brain at the door. Don't think too much kind of entertainment. And Isa Gonzalez. Oh my goodness. Worth just the price of the disc alone. It's a gorgeous looking disc. Great pop, great HDR. Great visuals, the special effects look very good also, and great three-dimensional depth on this stunning 4K Blu-ray, another showcase. Looks better than the digital version. I had it on digital first, and then I picked it up on 4K Blu-ray. Really, really good looking disc. Highly recommended to anyone, and if you haven't seen it, definitely worth a pickup for a couple of reasons. Isa Gonzalez being one of them, 100%. Number 6, incels everywhere rejoice, Joker. Do I need to really talk about this movie? Do I need to talk about how fantastic, how amazing it is? Joaquin Phoenix doing his thing like he always does. Great looking movie from start to finish. I remember watching it in the theater and thinking that this is going to be quite grain heavy, but shockingly, it's a very clean looking transfer. The HDR, the color tones look immaculate. It is a scorcher of a disc. The Atmos is also very, very good on this. You have to have this in your collection. I'm not even going to say much more about it. If you do not have this in your collection, you're not a real 4K Blu-ray enthusiast. We're halfway through, time for a brief intermission. For those of you who haven't subscribed, can you please do so immediately? And also click that bell icon to be notified of all brasstax updates. Thank you very much. Number 5, Bad Boys for Life. Now, if someone told me that this was going to make my top 10 list, I never would have believed them, but this disc is an absolute banger. That's terminology us Brits use when describing something which is a smoke show, which is kind of what you guys in the US use, right? Something is a smoke show, we say it's an absolute banger. That's what this disc is, I ain't gonna lie to you. Can be taken out of context, but what can you do? This banger of a disc is absolutely superb from start to finish. Great vibrant colors, it pops right off the screen. Your OLED may just melt. Your QLED may just melt. The colors are amazing. The detail is second to none. It is a scorcher of a disc, a great movie, and tonally fits right in with the first two. Love this movie. Number 4, a movie I've recently reviewed, Tenet. Looks absolutely outstanding. A great minefield of a movie. You gotta pay attention to it. I've already done a review on it. If you haven't seen it, the link is right here. Great looking visuals, superb disc. Okay, the sound lets it down because that's a Christopher Nolan thing. I mean, he's one of us. He's a Brit. And even I don't know what he's doing. The disc is gorgeous. The 4K looks beautiful. The HDR, while not hitting peaks, looks very, very nice indeed for what it is. Colors, everything is A1. IMAX scenes to boot. Visually one of his best looking movies in my opinion. Number 3, Peninsula. A sequel to Train to Busan. Now, if you haven't seen Train to Busan, pick it up. The UK iTunes store, I think it's relatively cheap. I picked it up when it was $3.99, so I'm assuming it's going to be near enough that price now. A Korean movie, English subtitles. Let me tell you something. I've seen a lot of zombie movies. This is one of the best I've ever seen. Visual effects and the story itself is amazing. I've watched that movie 3 times. I highly recommend it. Watch it 100%, you're gonna love it. The sequel is not as good. Okay, I'm gonna say that right off the bat. Peninsula is not as good, but goddamn is it a scorcher of a disc. The lighting, the inky blacks, the razor sharp textures of everything you're seeing on screen is an absolute showcase for your 4K TV. And I didn't like Peninsula, but a lot of people did. I mean, it was not terrible, it's just nowhere near as good as Train to Busan, but it just looks phenomenal, people. Really, really good indeed, and I highly recommend you watch the first one, maybe rent the second one, and if you do like it, pick it up on 4K because, damn, panty dropper. Number 2 is a movie that I haven't reviewed on YouTube, but I've watched a number of times on digital and 4K Blu-ray, and that is Mulan. Is it Mulan or Mulan? I can never tell. But let me tell you something. This is one of the best looking 4K discs I've seen this year. Absolutely amazing. And I did enjoy the movie, but that's because I never watched the original. I watched the original after the fact and realized why people didn't like it. But I still enjoyed Mulan. I liked it. I liked the live action movie. I thought it was decent. You know, it's not gonna rock my world, but the 4K disc does. God damn! The 4K disc is gorgeous. It's stunning. The colors are bright, vivid. It's a reference disc, people. I watched it in 4K digital on iTunes and I thought it looked sublime. I was expecting the same on the 4K disc, but the 4K disc just takes it up a few more levels. It looks spectacular, and it's one of the first movies I put on if I'm trying to. I've got a cousin who's still got a 1080p, and I showed him this, and he ordered a 4K TV that day. That's how good this looks. It's an absolute scorcher of a disc. Okay, if you kind of just like the movie or were hesitant on picking up the 4K Blu-ray, don't be. This is gonna blow your boxes off. No homo. And ladies, if you're watching, it's gonna blow your panties off. I ain't gonna lie to you. Number one, you've probably guessed it, no brainer, 1917, people. 1917. What a fantastic movie from start to finish. Fantastic Atmos, really atmospheric. Reference on all counts. The audio is a 10, the visuals are a 10, it's sharp, the colors just pop, the detail just is something that you can only see on 4K. You're never gonna see a disc like this, even half as good, on 1080p. It is amazing in every single way. It is the reference disc of 2020. It is the must-have. From a movie level, from a sound level, from an audio level, an absolute scorcher of a disc. And I'm certain that most of you guys have this already, but I had to put it as number one. There is nothing which I feel, I mean, there are things that come close, but on every front, on audio and visual, nah, it's a winner, people. And that's your number one. And there we have it, people. You had your top 10 list of 2020. Now in the comments section, I want to know what your top 10 or top 5 is of 2020. Let me know. I want to see how it measures up with mine and see where we all are. Alright guys, make sure you do that and subscribe if you haven't already. 4K Rockstar. You already know.